It's Powerback time on the Gutsy Podcast, your 20-minute boost to reclaim and refocus your energy. Get ready to have bursts of clarity, a boost of confidence, and the practical steps you need to make gutsy moves forward. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. You're not overwhelmed. You're overcommitted to everything except the one move that would actually change your life. You've been keeping yourself busy, okay? Checking boxes, filling your calendar, doing all the things. So why aren't you any closer to achieving that goal that you've been working towards? Because there's a decision or a move that you keep avoiding. Look, I like dancing too, but all that dancing around the thing that you know that it's time to do is exhausting. It's keeping you stuck in the same cycle, plateauing your business growth, and it's preventing you from having the things that you know that you're ready for. So on today's Powerback episode, we are going to identify what one said thing is, and we're going to build the momentum to get it done. If you're tired of farting around and you're ready to gain some traction, this episode is for you. First things first, before we dig into any of this, I'm not going to go into the depths of why you're not making this move, because you already know why. Sure, we could go into the thoughts and the behaviors and the habits and the mindset and just all that stuff, but I think that if you're listening to this, you already know. You're listening to this because you're like, fuck, I'm about to be called out, but I kind of like that, and maybe I need that today. And so that's where we're headed. You already know why you've been dancing around this thing, whether it's a decision that you need to make or a move that you need to make based on that decision. There's something in that literally has the key to unlock the door that you have been body slamming. You know what I mean, right? Like, you're like, why won't this thing open? I've done everything. I've taken a hammer to it. I've thrown my freaking weight up against it. I've kicked it. It's just not opening. And it's like, I'll wait, because there's something that you need to do in order for this door to actually quite easily open up for you. If we get to the root of the root of the root of why you're not making it, it's probably the same for just about everybody. It's uncomfortable. Getting what you want requires you to change something. The way that you do things, the way that you're showing up, the things that you're used to, the way that other people are used to you showing up, like some kind of change has to happen for you to achieve this goal, this pivot, to achieve this next level in your business. Something's gotta change. And change is often uncomfortable, not because it's wrong, but because it's new. And so what happens is, like, I don't want to do that thing. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I want to feel productive. I want to look and feel busy so that I can avoid this thing. And it's not usually a conscious thought. It's just, well, if I do all these other things, then I won't have time to do that one thing. I won't have to commit to something, which usually means then an action is required to follow it. And so you just stay busy. That's really what this boils down to. There is discomfort and you keep yourself busy. Excuses pop in why you can't do this. You've got all these things going on. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. I'll sit and think about it. Then the overthinking loves to come to the party and bring fucking friends. And before you know it, 4 months have gone by and you're no further than where you were. Meanwhile, this is wrecking you. It's draining your energy. It's making your stress or your anxiety run through the roof. It's like a tab always open, running a program in the back of your mind. It is sucking time and resources. Even when you're not consciously thinking about it, your body is thinking about it. And then you're having conversations with people saying what you want to do, and you're frustrated why this isn't working, and you don't know what to do. And it gets muddy. When in reality, if you pull back for even a hot second and you get honest with yourself about what is it that I need to do? What am I avoiding? What am I kicking down the freaking driveway every single day? What is the thing that I keep saying I'm going to come back around to? And then when it's time to come back around, I say, I'm going to come back around again. That, my friend, is the thing, the decision, the move, your next focus. And what's incredibly wild, and I'm laughing because I know this personally, that thing rarely takes as long or as much energy as my brain has convinced me that it's going to take. And as soon as I do it, as soon as I commit to something, as soon as I make that move, it's like the floodgates of awesome just turn on. The creativity comes back online. The ideas come through. I meet the right next person that connects me to the right next person. Like things just flow because I got out of my own fucking way. And I think one of the most frustrating parts about all of this for me, and I'm sure for you too, is that you know that you're made for more. Like, you know that you're on the cusp of something. There's a hunger inside of you that wants your business to look and feel a certain way, or you want to shift something in your lifestyle. Like, it's so clear to you that you could almost taste it. But this indecision, this holding pattern is stopping you from accessing it. It's keeping the fucking door locked. And it might be why your shoulder hurts, because you keep throwing your freaking body into it. You know that you're made for something else. And the move that you've been dancing around is how you get it. Behind every sticky situation is a decision or a move that you've been avoiding. And today, we're gonna start making that damn move, okay? You've got more to give. There's a different version of your life that you can see, you can feel. It's like maybe it's physically up on your wall because you made a vision board, or maybe it's just so clear in your body that you're like, I know what I'm capable of. What the hell is wrong with me? Why can't I access that? You can, by making this freaking move. I thought it would be fun and kind of interesting to share some of the moves that my clients have been bumping up against. And once they made them, everything, I'm telling you, everything in their life changed. I want you to see and feel some of these moves in context, because some of these moves are based off of a bigger decision or a bigger business or life change, but it gets broken down into a smaller task. And sometimes it's a simple behavioral shift that cracks everything open for the better. I also want you to know that you're not the only one. Okay, whether it's me or the women that I work with, there are gajillions of people that face this every single day. And the only difference between the people that get what they want and the people that talk about what they want is the people that get what they want went for it. They leaned into the discomfort and they made the gutsy move. These first two ladies are in the Gutsy Collective. This is a personal development space where women are gearing up to make the bigger moves in their life or in their careers. They're getting clarity around what it is that they want. It's a place to really kind of get their ducks in a row. Think of it as the space between therapy sessions where you get to apply what you've learned and be surrounded by a group of ambitious women that are also working on themselves, who truly support you, not judge you. The first gal was facing a pretty big life change, which was a divorce. She came into the space feeling pretty depleted, really not understanding who she was or what she wanted. And through the work that we did together, she realized it's really actually time to make this decision. And this is the decision that she had been putting off for a really long time. This is not her first time in this position with her spouse. This was really like, if I do it this time, I know that this is it. And that obviously comes with a lot of weight and a lot of emotions and a lot of things to process and think about. So for a while, she wavered back and forth. She continued to pour into herself. She did some work, but every time she got so far, it was like, I can't move any further than this until I make a decision. And during one of our group sessions on a Sunday morning that we do, she out loud claimed, I'm going to file for divorce. And everyone erupted in applause and there were tears and people were virtually hugging. And it's like, she just really fully embodied that I have to make this decision in order for me able to move forward with my life. And it was because of that decision, claiming that for herself, that she knew what to do next. And that one next move was talking to a lawyer, finding out what the process was, reaching out to her work because there were some resources available, right? That didn't mean the next day she filed for divorce. It doesn't even mean that next week she filed for divorce. It meant she knew what she was going to do, and now her actions can support that. She found out her options. She gathered tools and resources. She connected with some other women in the group and outside of the group that have gone through this process before her. And guess what? The papers have been filed, they have been served, and they are in the process of making this final. She's on the path to a new freedom and a new sense of life because she claimed that decision and made the moves to back it up. Another gal in the Gutsy Collective had been sitting on a book that she had been writing. It was like 3/4 of the way done for a long period of time, months, maybe even years, if I'm not mistaken. And there was this hesitation in the completion and finishing it. I think it was rooted in being seen, in being heard, and really claiming this next chapter of her life and her career. She was avoiding finishing the book, and yet every day she thought about finishing the book. In our time together, we identified what this thing was. She leaned all the way in, and guess what? She's a published author now. She's no longer thinking about finishing the book. Instead, she's holding it in her hand. She's watching as people are purchasing it. And she's able to move forward with the next things that she wants to do within her business. Now, over in Auraline, which is a more business-focused space, these are female entrepreneurs that are on the cusp of a breakthrough. They can feel that new level of business coming in. There's an identity shift that they're ready to make, or an expansion or pivot that they're ready for. With this shift, though, they are hyper-focused on doing it their way. They really want to do the work that matters. They're just not always sure what that is. So we simplify all the ideas. We create a focal point so they know where to invest their time and their energy. I help them stay on track, and ultimately, they get it done. One of the gals inside of Auraline, I mean, she's just freaking rocking it. Okay. So she was an executive for a very long time, high up in corporate career. A shift changed, she got let go. And now she's been in this in-between space of, do I finally go for it and make my own business? Or do I go, quote unquote, back to corporate? She's been thinking about this business for a very long time, but the safety and security of her corporate job, it's hard to compete with sometimes. But since that has been removed and she's in this kind of wide open blank canvas space, it's like, what do you want to do? Part of the reason that she joined was to figure that out and then to create a plan and execute on whatever that answer was going to be. And it became very evident very quickly that this gal was so ready to go all in on her speaking and workshop business. But she had danced in that space for a very long time. And it was like back and forth and weighing the odds and maybe this and maybe that. And what if this and what if that? And we just stripped it back away. We got into her raw energy. And I asked her, what do you actually want? If we just pushed all of your roles and responsibilities and the how and the timelines and all that shit, if we just pushed all that off to the side for a second, what would you decide to do in this moment? And without skipping a beat, she said, I want to start this business. 2 weeks later, the LLC was filed. Next month, she is speaking at an event. She's getting footage. She's building out her workshops. She's fine-tuning her keynote. And did I also mention that she's written a book in the past? She has been preparing for this for a very long time. But without making that decision, she couldn't move. She was literally frozen in time. But this hunger, this knowing that she's meant for bigger work was eating her alive. But now that she's decided, all of her movement, all of her decisions, everything that she does supports her commitment to running this business. One more from another gal inside of Auraline. So she was already in business. Things were moving. She had transitioned out of corporate and into her business about 2 years ago. She's been working on messaging and building out her website and getting herself out there. She's also a speaker and facilitator. And, she's been putting a lot of energy into creating the systems and getting everything in place. And yet it just hasn't caught the traction that she knows that she's meant for. She joins Auraline. We start to do some digging because that's where I like to start. Okay. We got to get to the root of things so that we can get things moving. And what we uncover is she was holding on to a past identity. She was terrified that people would not understand, appreciate, or accept the fact that she was changing industries, that she was no longer a marketing executive, that she is now a speaker and facilitator. She was afraid that there was going to be confusion and what would the people in her industry think and how would they, approach her. It got messy. It got loud. It got confusing. In her LinkedIn content, she was still kind of dabbling between both worlds and not fully claiming herself as a speaker and facilitator. And then one day she was ready. She's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lean in. And she made the switch. She changed the content on her LinkedIn page. She started to talk specifically through the new lens of her new career. And one of the biggest shifts that she made energetically was she made one singular post announcing her career shift. She owned it publicly. She let the people in her network know, and whether they saw it or not did not matter because she claimed it. And because she did this, wouldn't you know that business has started to move? It is very frequent that I get messages from her that says, oh my gosh, things are working. She's booking more meetings than she's ever been able to. She is booking gigs. She's speaking on stages. And here's the real kicker. She is speaking on stages and connecting with people in her previous industry where she has now claimed that that is where she serves them best. Not in the marketing role that they knew her from, but in her new role as a speaker and facilitator. Things are moving and things are working because she claimed the thing that she was avoiding. I could tell you 8 gajillion more of these stories. Seriously, what I see on a day-to-day basis blows my mind because when you truly commit to the thing that you've been dancing around, everything that's felt like a fight starts to flow. And sometimes it takes a little extracting. Sometimes we got to do a little digging. Sometimes we got to get to the root of things. And that's why spaces like the Gutsy Collective and Auraline both exist. So if you want to chat about what that might look like or see which one would be the right next step for you, I'm going to put a link in the show notes for you to book a free clarity session. This is 30 minutes, you and I, to help figure out what your right next step is. In the meantime, here are 2 things to focus on. You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to do this tomorrow. But the very first thing is to identify what is the decision or the move that I need to make. What is it? Be honest with yourself. Write it on a little piece of paper and stick it in your pocket. If we're not honest about what it is, we're going to keep dancing around it. And if we don't identify what it is, we're never going to make it. Write it down, sit with it. Just let it exist in your world. And then the next step is to choose when you're going to do it. When are you making this move? When are you making this decision? You might get a wild hair up your ass and decide, yep, I'm doing it now. I've decided now. I'm making the move now, whatever it is. Or you might need to marinate on it for a little bit. You might need to say, okay, this is the bigger thing. So what is the one next move that I need to make? And when am I going to do it? You are ready for this. You know that you're made for more. You know it's time to move on. You know it's time to level up. Whatever that knowing is inside of you, believe it, hear it, and trust it. And please remember that you do not have to have it all figured out in order to move forward, but you do have to own it, and you do have to start moving to get it. And remember, if it's still feeling a little foggy, you don't have to do it alone. Book a clarity session. That link is in the bio. My calendar is open and ready for you. You can also shoot me a DM if you want to just chat over there. You can find me on all the social platforms using @thatLauraAura. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.